get her on speakerphone. And then at about 10 past 7, quarter past, right around there, Eric Richards is going to be joining us via speakerphone. He's actually ministers at a church, and he's got a prayer session that they're going to be starting now, and it's going to be going until about 7:15. Then we'll call in. I want to remind everybody that the meeting was sent out 14 days in advance to all of you, and I believe you're all here because you received it. Is there anybody here who did not receive the mailing? Everybody here received it saying?
This mailing?
Yeah, that mailing. Okay, because that mailing is what our accounting firm has on file for you as your address, which means when we pass the assessment tonight, coupons or payment information will be forwarded to your unit, and we want to make sure that you receive it and that it's accurate. And we also want to make sure that for our future notices, which are going to include the restoration and our budget in a couple of months from now, we want to make sure that you have everything. So please make sure that you have a copy of that. And please make sure that if you speak to any neighbors or anybody who didn't know about it, please find out from them if they received our mail. Okay? I'm glad to see that we have a lot of people here tonight. Carol Eskew, who's one of the managing partners at our accounting firm, is here with us tonight. She's going to actually open up the meeting and discuss what's going on, why we needed to have this meeting, and we'll also be able to answer any questions regarding the actual process itself in terms of the assessment. If you don't mind, I'm just going to go ahead and get Patty on speakerphone, and then we're going to get started in 5 minutes.
I got my insurance renewal today, and a little bit, 30% increase.
Hey Patty, how are you?
September. No.
Great.
October,
Get you on
November,
speakerphone,
December.
and we're going to get ready to call the meeting to order in a little bit. We do need to wait about 10 minutes for Eric to join us because he is in a prayer session right now that should be finishing in about 10 minutes from now.
And we have a full house here.
We have a nice full house. We
Sent a
have
payment in today.
about 30 people, 35 people. You got it.
Okay, you're next door. So, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. All right.
Okay, so for, like we were saying beforehand, the board has worked pretty diligently on the restoration. That contract, for those of you who asked, has been approved by the board. We have a contractor who does have the ability to kind of fast track a little bit our permitting process. So that's going to be simultaneously kind of the next thing that's going to be happening. I'd like to ask all of you to please look on your mailboxes. I have some pretty bright colored paper, and we're going to be posting notices so it kind of gets your attention, because in a couple of weeks from now, we're going to be having our regular board of directors meeting so that we can start getting into the restoration portion of things. Carol, who's here with us tonight, has worked really closely with the banks in the area and has really assisted us tremendously when it comes to getting a line of credit to do this work. making sure that the work is being done properly. Our attorneys have been nonstop, making sure that the contract reads exactly how it needs to read. And as I mentioned to all of you, a few of you before that came in and asked, we have that the pool project, which is going to be underway in probably the next, like, I'm thinking about 3 weeks or so. So then we're also going to be on the heels of starting in our restoration. So we do have quite a bit that's teed up. One of the things that somebody asked was about the fences. Now the fences is pressure treated wood, just so that you know, that is going to remain wood, but we do fix those fences and we make sure we fix them and we use that pressure treated wood so that they're impervious to termite damage. They will get pretty damaged when the loading of the buildings and the unloading of the roofs start to happen, because they're going to be taking those roofs down and they're going to be mobilizing. So once that work is done, then they will be looking to replace and fix those fences. I forget who it was who asked. I'm sorry, we've got more people in the room now. Oh, so that's what's going to happen with the fences. The materials over here, for those of you who have not attended any of our past board meetings, the 3 pieces of material that you see over here in the far corner is the shingled roof. That's what the shingled roof is going to look like, and those are the actual shingles that are going to be used for our roof. Our roofs are going to be completely torn down all the way to the wood decking, and then they're going to have the waterproof membranes put down, and then they're also going to go ahead and put the shingles back over them. They have to go through 2 different inspections in order to pass. The one that's next to that is called hardy board. It looks just like wood, but it's actually not wood at all. If you tap it, it almost has the consistency of like a very, very hard concrete. And it's actually being used so that we can keep the same look to the buildings, but will not suffer any kind of wood rot whatsoever from years of rain, and definitely won't get any kind of termite infestation. And then last but not least, on the floor, all of you have, if you look up on your units, you'll see there's a flat area. That flat roof is like a rubber membrane that's put over your roof, and it's mostly over the bedroom areas, and those are the areas that have been, problematic and have had leaks over the years, because the membrane is very, very thin. We're going to have 2 layers of waterproofing. There's going to be a base coat of the waterproofing and then what's called a TPO layer. And these are just examples of some of the stuff that we're going to have. So please, after we're done with the meeting tonight, it shouldn't take too long, but definitely go over and take a look and make sure that you familiarize yourself with that. Tonight's meeting is not about the restoration, but because we have a nice full house, I did want to let everybody know to just make sure that you do your best to check the mailbox areas. That's where we usually try and post those notices. And I went out and bought some plastic holders that we're going to have put against either side of the mailboxes so that we can just kind of slide those in and keep them nice and safe and waterproof. So that way we can notify everybody. And we will be doing meetings by phase, because we have to go phase by phase, because your phase may have to vote on certain issues, similar to how we do the budget every year, where phase by phase we have that proxy that goes out for the reserves. It's the same exact situation. You're going to get a proxy where you're going to have to vote on certain issues. So I just wanted to take time out to explain that while we were waiting, because this is rather important stuff coming up, and definitely something that you want to make sure that we have at least this many people or more at the upcoming meetings. In addition, we're also gonna need to get a crew on each phase as we're doing the project. So that's why it's so important to meet by phase, because there's going to be a crew working at each one of the phases to start out with. The contractors promised us 4 crews, 1 at each phase, and then we're gonna be working based off of how many problems we've had with certain units, with any kind of leaks or anything that's been recurring, that's been a problem. We wanna hit those areas first. Okay? Yeah, you got a question?
I have a question. In my house, and I can imagine, the process too. When it rains, the water is coming out from the roof. And one time you went and I have plants coming out also. So it's completely inside the wall is horrible.
We want to make
when
sure
we are
that
going to fix it.
any type of problems that occur inside the units, the association's responsible for the drywall. We want to make sure that as the project's going on, and we know that your roofs are 100%, in good shape because they'll be new, we want to be able to help out. Now, we've had some people who've gone in and some really bad areas to just make sure that we fix them. If you feel the area is really, really bad and it's just very difficult to get by with it looking the way it is over the next couple of months, let me know so that we can go ahead and get it addressed for you. But the one thing that we have built into our contract is the fact that we're gonna need to go ahead and address some areas around some of the work that's being done. And again, this isn't a meeting for anything related to our restoration. This is gonna be solely about our insurance. You must understand and know that our insurance is kind of hand in hand with the roofs and the 40-year certification. It's a really, really difficult situation right now because when we look to do all the work that we're doing right now, we expect that our insurance is going to be greatly affected by getting mitigation credits and certain things that are happening. So I think it's very, very important for everybody to understand that the insurance market is very, very out of control right now. And that's one of the things that we're hoping that doing this work in the coming future is really going to help us out because we will be able to get certain mitigation credits. Okay, yeah.
For insurance purposes, like the shingles, they're like high grade or they're the cheaper shingles?
No, everything is the top of the line product. It's actually gotten, the distributor that's being used is one of the top distributors in the area. And the warranty that is going to be on all the work for the manufacturer is going to be 20 years. Okay, I'm sorry, I got a text and I thought, oh, there's Eric right there. Hold on 1 second while I join Eric in. Hey, Eric.
Hey, James.
I'm going to join you in real quick and we'll get the meeting underway. Okay, Patty, would you like to call the meeting to order? I have Eric with us.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Monday, August 7th is strictly an insurance meeting. And we have with us Caroline, correct?
Yeah, Carol is
Yep.
here.
Okay, so the purpose of the meeting, as Jay has discussed, is the recent hike in our insurance policy, which needs to be funded. So this is strictly regarding the new assessment, special assessment at the end of the year, that's going to be voted into by the board to cover the additional expenses for the insurance. Now, to alleviate some of the pressure, the
Sure, I'd be happy to. Good evening, everyone. So you all got a notice about special assessment regarding your insurance increase. You all probably know Florida is in an insurance crisis. We only have very few insurance companies even writing policies in Florida right now. And the insurance company of last resort is Citizens. So your policy, we were hoping for the best. We were hoping things wouldn't get as bad as they did. And we still don't know why policies have gone up the way they have, to be quite honest with you. All of our clients are going through this. We have more special assessments going on now because of insurance than we've ever had in the history of our firm. And we've been around since 1984. I mean, this is unbelievable. So you are not alone, it's everyone. So we budget $500,000 for your insurance, it came in at $1 million. $1 million. But as Jay's already said, after the work is done, they will come out and you will hopefully get a significant drop in this insurance. Any roofs in Florida that are 15 years or older, basically insurance companies have the right to deny coverage. We have clients without insurance, and it's not a position you ever want to be in. You have insurance, thank goodness. You were not in that category, but it has to get done. And that's one of the reasons you still have insurance, because they know the contracts and everything is in the works, the loan is in the works, we're at the very end. Hopefully we're gonna know this week about the loan, and you have a closing date. Jay has gotten a ton of information for the bank. Your insurance agent has gotten a ton of information. I've provided a ton of information. So they're ready. And they're waiting on one more thing, which we're hoping we have tomorrow from the insurance agent. Other than that, everything is at the bank, and we should hear about it very shortly. But getting back to the insurance, we can't kick the can down the road because you have a lot going on. And they're not taking all the money. Honestly, they're using some of the operating cash you already have towards this insurance increase, because it went up 100% from what we budgeted. So we crunched the numbers and we came up with, for the rest of this year, if we have 4 payments to pay it, it's not gonna be easy for folks, but you saw the list based on whether you're in phase 1, 2, 3, or 4, whether you have a 2 or 3 bedroom. So we do need a motion from the board.
I will make a motion to pass the special assessment for the insurance for the September through December in monthly payments to fund the insurance increase this year. Thank you, Eric.
Okay, no vote from Eric yet. We just need a first and a second. You're gonna get to ask questions as well. Are there any questions first from the board? And then we'll go to the homeowners.
And either of you, Patty, Eric, have questions of Carol?
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I just want to make sure the unit owners are aware that the special assessment is through December. However, for the new budget year, they're gonna see a dramatic increase in their monthly maintenance to cover the insurance. I just want to make sure that everybody understands, we're doing this short special assessment to get us through the year, and then in budget season in October, we will factor in the whole year into our monthly maintenance.
Did y'all hear that? Okay. Okay, all right, so.
Now, questions from any of you?
Sure. So why wasn't this done 5-10 years ago? Why are we here now at 40-year certification?
Okay, I'm your accountant. so
I know.
can't-
Okay, you asked the question. You open it to the audience. I'm
We have
asking.
been planning for the 40-year certification.
Okay.
Since, I guess it's been 12 years now.
Yeah.
And we are now at the point where we have
You have the
the
money?
contractor, we don't have all of the money. because we have only assessed about a $50 assessment per unit.
Okay.
We have collected about $750,000.
Okay.
The project will be in excess of a $4 million.
We know this. We knew this
So-
10 years ago.
So, yeah, so, I'm not sure what you're asking. You
I'm
know-
asking why you didn't do this 5, 10 years ago.
Didn't
Why
you-
are we at the 40-year certification when we should have done this 5, 10 years, maybe even 15 years ago?
Done what 5 or
You
10
gotta
years
wait
ago?
until-
We have to have a loan.
You gotta
We
wait
still have to have a
until- You gotta
loan.
wait until Broward County actually.
Bullshit with Broward County. That's not it.
Okay, well, I'm not sure exactly what it is that you expected us to
I'm
do.
just asking questions as a concerned homeowner.
That's
Let me jump in here. Okay, so about 12 years ago, we tried to get loans for these.
You're sitting on the board, so you gotta look at me.
All right, next
Okay, I
question.
will look at you. Have I not been looking?
Oh,
at
of
you?
course you have, because we have a history, and you know this already. But you probably do too, because I've been in your office before as well, years ago. Yeah.
Okay, right now, what we're discussing here is for your annual insurance. Now, one of the most important things to factor in when it comes to your insurance is that your budget cycle starts around September, October.
Yep.
So your budget cycle essentially is starting at the beginning, a couple of months into hurricane season. When you're in hurricane season, you really don't know what your next renewal is gonna look like because you have to do the renewal outside of hurricane season. So essentially, you go through the entire rest of the year and into the following year, and then you have to do the best guesswork that you can while using all the information that's being given to your insurance agent. And that's what's been happening here. When Surfside incident happened and Champlain Towers went down, 3 of the largest insurance carriers in the state of Florida vacated the state of Florida, leaving a big gap in terms of coverage. So that's why Citizens had to come back in when a lot of people started exiting away from Citizens and became kind of the last resort. That's what ended up happening with us. Most of the other carriers would not allow a smaller association like this to be covered with anybody else but Citizens. Our insurance carriers came in, they bound our policy, and now during the renewal period, we're actually finding out that the renewal that just came about a month ago was significantly higher than what we had calculated and thought of before. The goal is to get our association through this, get the project completed for the 40-year certification, have the engineer sign off, have our insurance carrier ask the state to bring in inspectors who can do a mitigation inspection for all 4 phases. And when we show that we've completed the 40-year certification, we've completed a lot of the additional work that needs to be done structurally, when you have new roofs that are put on, the insurance folks that we've spoken with feel very, very comfortable that those mitigation credits, once applied, are really going to start to help us with future renewals and would start to see things start to get back to as close, we're hoping, to where they were before.
So,
But it's all guess. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to add a comment to that, because what you're saying is, my husband is one of the premier engineers for Surfside, so all this is going on. As an owner of 2 properties, fortunately we had mitigation for my other house because we had the roof inspected and all that. That has gone up. My place here has gone up for just the interior, over $400 more than it was last year. I'm just fortunate that I even have that interior, because they said, and this is through Universal Property and Casualty Property, they're just wiping out insurance. So just to go on with that, yes, insurance is so hard.
Has anybody here been, non-renewed for your homeowner policy?
I'm with surplus lines because the admitted market isn't working. I work in insurance, that's my history. I've got
I know
like 20
Patty.
years of insurance history myself, personally, 20 years. And the market is, yes, we know it's screwed up, but the management here has been subpar, period.
Okay, thank you.
I've had an interior leak
Next time.
since 2007,
Okay.
and it hasn't been corrected to date,
Okay,
period,
thank you.
period.
Thank you,
And you know that, you already heard from my attorney, so you know.
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Has anybody, had that with your, homeowner's policy?
Yes.
That's my
We
frustration.
had it double, we had it cancel, it's just no words for insurance.
Yes.
But my
Yep.
question is, if we finish this before the next review, will it be possible, do you think, we'll finish all of these roofing things before the next review?
So the answer is we don't know, but we know what the experts have told us, and that's why we're really trying very, very hard to get as much of this done and as many of those credits given as possible. Now, the contractor has also offered the opportunity to upgrade to impact windows and given some really good pricing. And again, all of that pricing will be shared with everybody. This is not a meeting for that restoration. But that will also get some additional mitigation credits as well. The simple answer is, there are insurance agents that we're dealing with constantly. They don't even know what's going on in this market. Experts that think they can predict what's happening have predicted.
You mean actuaries?
It's gone the other way. So it's just really difficult to tell. We're trying to do the very best in terms of the work that's ahead of us and hopefully being able to really hit this thing head on, and hopefully it helps us.
So
Yeah,
question,
ma'am.
so when do this start? Do this start September, the payments?
Yep.
If
And
the board
going,
passes it tonight, it'll start September 1st and the 1st of each month through December 1st.
okay, and then the new year will be, this payment will be finished, or?
That's just for the down payment on the insurance. That's what all this
She's
is.
asking a question up here.
Oh,
Please
shut up.
do not give her the
Yeah,
answer you don't know.
Oh, I do know.
So what Patty
Trust me, I
tried to
know.
say earlier.
I don't trust.
I'm way above you, honey,
What
way above.
Patty tried to say earlier is that we're gonna have to put it in next year's budget. So we don't know what the number is going to be.
Okay.
So.
Okay, Eric, let's go ahead and just get this passed while we've got you here. Okay, so we have a motion on the floor from, Blair to pass the special assessment with the 4 payments, leading up to December. We have a second by you, all in favor?
for a whole year on the board. I've done my time.
Okay, what we'll need is a quick motion to, get rid of the, or suspend the special assessment for those final 4 months. And then, we'll let you get back to work, and we really
And if you
apologize,
have like
Eric.
interior damage, you need to talk to me,
Okay.
because my attorney got me money.
Okay, all right, I will make a motion to suspend the current special assessment during the period that we are assessing for the insurance through the end of the year.
I pay 48.
You got a second?
Okay, Eric,
More because
and
Okay.
can I call for a vote?
All in favor?
that's what I was gonna ask.
Patty? Okay, all in favor,
So
thank
now
you.
the third thing is, we do
Thanks,
have,
Eric.
we do have homeowners who have credit balances on the special assessment that they just suspended, that they just ended.
Okay.
The one that's between $40 and $50 a
Yeah.
month. Those credits, the board can vote to move that money over to this new one. So you don't have to pay that portion. So if you
Okay.
had a credit, I'm looking here, some people have $50 credit, some people have actually $250, they paid the whole year.
Okay.
So we can move that credit if the board asks us to do that and vote
Yeah.
no.
Patty, how do you feel about moving the, any overage for individual homeowners from the, restoration special assessment to the insurance special assessment to help offset that?
Of course.
Okay, would you like to make a motion?
I think, Eric, jumped off.
Yeah, he did, but there was still the two of us, we're still the majority.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to apply any, for those unit owners that have prepaid the current special assessment, I make a motion to credit that towards new insurance special assessment.
All right, and I will second that.
Since 2007.
All in favor?
And they haven't
Aye.
fixed the shit yet.
Okay,
I got a question here. Could we move,
That
we have a
aspect.
credit, do we have to just call the office to see how much our credit is?
Yes, or you go online as an owner, you have access to your own account online.
Okay, now what about your regular assessment, if you have a credit on there?
If you call customer service or email customer service, we're happy to move that as well, but we need your permission to do that one. From maintenance, from the regular maintenance, you have a credit, you'd like to move over, absolutely, we'd be happy to do that, but the board's not gonna vote to do that, you know? The special assessment they ended is different. We know there's no more billing for that.
Okay.
So you're gonna throw your coupons away. I'm gonna tell you that when I send you the new book. I'm gonna say, throw away those other coupons that were between $40 and $50. You don't need them anymore. And people who are not here will still send a payment. I'm just gonna tell you.
What about auto payment? I pay auto payment.
Yeah, so Blair asked about auto pay, and this special assessment, because it is a continuation, if the board chooses, we can continue the auto pay from the SA2 people, not people paying through maintenance. If you
I
pay-
haven't paid $800 and something dollars for
Okay.
maintenance.
Is this her name?
just a moment, just a moment,
Your
please.
kid, his grandmother, his
You
mother.
have not been
Is
recognized,
that-
just a moment, we will get to you, we will get to you,
Asking.
please.
I don't know.
Don't get to me because I'm here since 1997.
See? She's an old timer
I
too.
am defense between
Ma'am,
my neighbor and my
we will
son.
give you an
We
opportunity to
pay
talk.
extra maintenance, extra night, and they don't put up the fence until now. Well, in 2001, the people put on a new roof.
See?
I'm having to pay more money, and that bill is there until now, we don't finish paying off. Somebody in here is putting
Yeah.
money in their pocket.
Oh!
And this has to stop.
I'm not gonna say no to that.
Yeah.
We'll find out though.
This is not fair to us.
Mm.
2001,
I agree.
they put new roof on, they're taking more money. They pay new money.
Would you like to adjourn and we'll open it up to good and welfare, after adjournment?
I'm not paying you.
We're done.
Okay.
Agreed,
Bye.
okay,
See you in court.
okay.
Okay, it's 7:32, motion to adjourn.
Yes, I second that.
Ciao.
Opposed?
Goodbye.
Second.